This AI system can generate 10,000 leads a day. It collects businesses' contact info from Google Maps, extracts emails and social profiles, and writes personalized cold outreach emails for each, and even filters out those with bad reviews. So you get only the best qualified leads, all completely automatic. Now here's why this is insane. Let's say you're selling an AI system for $1,000, like this voice agent that books appointments for businesses. With a typical cold email campaign, you may need about 500 leads to land one client. That means 500 leads equals $1,000 revenue. So 10,000 leads a day, that's potentially $20,000 in the new business per day. But getting leads the normal way is brutal. You spend hundreds of hours scrolling through Google Maps and manually copy and pasting contact information to a spreadsheet. Or you pay someone for $1,000 a month to do it for you. And then you still need to write a personalized email to each lead. That's why I built this AI system that does all automatically. You type in your ideal clients, like real estate agent in San Diego, and the AI delivers you phone numbers, email addresses, social media profiles, and personalized email. One such system can deliver around 100 leads per hour. So in 24 hours, you get well over 2,000 leads. So if you want 10,000 leads a day, just run 5 of these systems in parallel. In this video, I'll show you exactly, step by step, how it works and how you can build it yourself in under 30 minutes. If you want to skip the setup, you can grab my pre-built AI automation template that you can directly import into your account. Just click the second link in the description below this video. Stick around till the end because I'll show you exactly how much this system costs you for 1,000 leads, for 3,000 leads, and even 10,000 leads.
You can get free access to this document we will be using during our setup that contains all the prompts and links we need by clicking the first link below this video.
We want our AI lead generator to work like this. We submit a form with the business and the location we want to use as leads, and then it generates a sheet with all these leads. So with all the contact information, also it generates the finished email that I can copy and paste and send to promote my service. Now the way this works is we need to have an automation platform, and in this case we use N8N. So you click on this link here, you can sign up for a free 14-day trial, and once you've done this, you will be directed to workflows here, and there you click on create new workflow, and then we start building. So I've already prepared this here because I've arranged this in 3 blocks so you can see the different elements we are building. First we need to find the new leads, and then we need to get the email addresses and the social media platforms or profiles, and then we want to generate the outreach email. Now the first step is we need to add a node. That's what these modules are called. So here on the right side you can search for different nodes depending on what you want. So I want a form, and especially I want a form here with this lightning here, because this is a trigger. This is what you always need first at the beginning. This is what turns on and activates the automation. So there we have the form URL. First we use this, doesn't really matter at the moment. We will use this at the end. And this is just the form title. So I just call it generate leads. We don't need a description. There we need the elements. So this is where we can put in the questions or the data we need. So what I need for the search is, I will just use this here. So what is the search term? So this is what is the business I want to search for. Do I want to search for real estate agent, dentist, massage places, whatever is your ideal business? And then what is the location? Because we're searching or we're getting the contact information from Google Maps, so we need the location. And both of them are required field. Respond when form is submitted. That's good. So now if we click execute step here, it will open this form. And then we could even already submit a information. So I can say a real estate agents, and here comes San Diego. And when I click on submit, nothing really happens besides that this data that I've submitted is now available in my automation. And this is the first part is already done. So here click on save because there is no automatic saving. So we need to always do that. And the next I can already add a tool that searches for real estate agents in San Diego on Google Maps and gets me all these contacts. And how do we do that? Well, we need to go here where it says Appify. This is the platform where you have lots of different web scraping tools. So scraping is just getting specific information from specific websites. And here we already have the one we need, which is the Google Maps scraper. So here you can sign up for a free account, and the free account will give you $5 in credits, which will last you for around over 1,200 scraping units. So you can you can scrape 1,200 leads using that. And here, try for free, click on that. And then this is activated in your account, and you will see this here. Now let's go back. So because now how do we connect this here? Well, it's really simple. We click on the plus, and there we can add a node. We use the HTTP request node. This is where we connect any tool we want. So this is where we now go back to my document, because I've already prepared this connection for you. So here, which it's called Scrape Maps. So that's what we call it. Just name it Scrape Maps. Here we need to select Post. So it sends information to my scraping tool, and then it returns back the results. So this is what we need to add in the URL field. Let's can leave this at fixed, but what we need to add here is our API key. This is what you find here under settings, API integration. Now there's usually already a token created. So here you see this is my token I need. But if for whatever reason you need to create a new one, just click on create a new token. Here I can demo create the token, and then I have another token. So I can just click on the copy symbol, and then here at the end I need to attach this. And then we need to activate send headers. We need to add 2 parameters as headers. One is again the token, so we can already directly copy it in here. But we need to attach the word bearer here at the beginning and in the space, so bearer and space, as you see here. And then we need to name this authorization. And there's another header parameter we need, which is here accept, and application in JSON. So that's just telling it this is the format of data we sent. Then we need to activate send body using JSON. And there we have already the code ready. So what this does, it uses our scraping tool and submits the information we have sent in the form. So if I enlarge this, you see it searches for location San Diego, and it searches for the keyword real estate agent. At the moment, it returns only 10 search results. That's just to keep this automation simple, so it doesn't run too long for this YouTube tutorial. But you can set it to 50, then it could return 50 results, depending on how many real estate agents are in San Diego listed on Google Maps, right? So it really depends on that. But I leave it at 10, and that's it. We can already click on submit, and we have 10 items. So it has given me 10 entries, and it returns the category name, the website, the phone number, and it returns the location, it returns the review score, the types of services they offer, the review count, the opening hours. So lots of information that we can already use to continue here. So it doesn't give me the email or the social media profiles, but it doesn't matter because there's another way to get those. Now, the next part is, first I want to go in here and I want to pin down the data. Is fixed and doesn't execute again because I don't need to execute it again. Sometimes this could happen when I build new tools and test them, so new modules. And then it just would reduce my credits here of this tool, but I don't want that and I don't need it. So I just click on the pin. I will unpin it at the end. And next I want to check if there are any duplicates. Is any of those leads you have just received already stored in my database? Click here. I need to get all the leads that are already in the database. So I need to add a Google Sheet tool. So just click on Google Sheets. And here we have just get rows in sheet. And what we need here is a Google Sheet, right? Like this one. I've already prepared a template for you here at the top where we can store all the leads. Just click on make a copy. Then you can give it a name here. Demo 10, and then we need to connect it. So how do we do this? Well, it's very simple. You click here, create new credential. You click on sign in with Google, and then you click the Google account where this Google Sheet is currently in. Click continue, looks good. And now this is connected. Now I need to choose the document, which is this one, and I need to choose the sheet. So the sheet is the sheet leads. So I want to have this always output data and execute only once. You see, its item is empty because I have none. I want to have rename this get saved leads. So I have gotten these leads, and now I need to compare them to those leads. Like, is there any duplicates here, right? And I will do this with a code node. So I had ChatGPT just write me the code for me that I need for that. And you just copy and paste it. So it's called filter duplicates. I go back, rename this here. So this just compares the scraped contacts with the saved contacts from my Google Sheet and removes any duplicates. So if I click on execute it shouldn't find anything. So it will output all of them. Right, and if there are duplicates, it will just remove this from the list. So let's click save. Now the next step, what I want to do is I want to add a filter, because I don't want to have businesses that have bad reviews. So here we have the review score. That's the total score. You see here, all these have pretty high scores, the real estate agents. So, but depending on what your business niche or market is, your industry is, this could vary. So what I want to do is here select number is greater than, so the condition is, we can just drag this number in here, or this value is greater than, for example, 3,5. So when it's greater than 3.5, then it will not be filtered out. You see here, it's all there. Now if I would put it to greater than 4.9, some would be filtered out because some are like 4.9 here, those discarded items. Just to show you how the filter works, right? But for me, it's okay. If a business has reviews with an average above 3.5, it should be a good business. Go back, click save. And next we want to save those leads. So another Google Sheet, because we want to save it to the Google Sheet. And this is called append row in sheet. We call it save new leads. And here I need to select my sheet again. Leads. And now I need to select the data I want to save. So the date, switch to expression. So I want to two curly brackets and then click now, and then it will just save the current time. Then we have category. So that's this one. Then we have title. So that's this one at the top, at the beginning here. Let's just drag and drop those values. Then we have website here. We have phone. Now the rating is total score. And this is the review count here. And we don't have email yet, Facebook. So we don't have any of that yet. But we need this. I want to have the address. Okay, here we don't have an address here for some of these, but it doesn't matter. Most of them have addresses, as you see. It's just the first one. We'll still add it here. And the state. Click execute step, and then it should save all those new leads here. Go back. Now the next step is to get those leads from my sheet that have a website, because then I can try to find the email addresses and I can try to find the social media accounts. And to do this, I first need to get those leads again, or I could actually just copy that, duplicate it, right? Because it's a similar process. Yeah, I just have get new leads. And I only want to get those from my sheet that have not been processed, because as you see in my example sheet, there's a status called processed. So, and these will be skipped because I don't need to get them again, right? Because they've already been processed. Only the new leads, the very fresh leads, that's what I want. Now, how do we do this? Well, it's very simple. First, we need to go in here, deselect this, execute once should be activated. And then go back to parameters, and here we can add a filter. So then I can select, okay, under what condition should it be filtered out? So if this has no value, if status has no value, then it will pass my filter. And if it has a value, right? For example, if it's processed, then it is not being loaded. So now, in my case, it will load all of them because I don't have any status. So it will return 10 items, as you see here. Next, one final thing before I can try and get the email addresses and social media profiles, I need another filter. So I can also duplicate this here. And I want to filter out all those that don't have a website, because if they don't have a website, I can't really find the contact or the email addresses or social media profiles. So I want to have filter out those that don't have a website. How do we do that? Very simple logic here. We need to find, okay, here's the website, right? So let's delete this value, drag this in here. Now we have string exists, right? If website exists, if it's not empty, then it will get me this. And here we have all 10 of those, because all 10 of those have a website. And now let's click save. Next, we need to add a node that's called loop over items, because we need to now process, so we don't need that. We need to now process each lead individually. So it will take the website, it will try to find email address or social media profiles on their website and process it, return it, save it, and then keep going for all these 10 leads I have gotten. Let's actually go back into my document. It's called Firecrawl. This can extract website content in a structured way. So you can sign up for the free plan, and then you go to dashboard, and then we need to go to API keys. But first, let's go in here, scroll down to our scrape website content. So copy that, because we need to add another node to connect Firecrawl. So here, click on plus on this loop branch, and then we go to HTTP request again. This is where always we can connect tools here. And here we need the URL. Already prepared this for you. Paste this in here. Then we need to send headers. But here it's just authorization. And then bearer API key. The API key we find here under API keys. So copy that. We can even create a new key here if you want to. Create key. And then we place it in here. Send body using JSON. And here we need to have this part. And this will get me the website. So let's execute the previous node. So here it will find me the first real estate agent. It has extracted the website content for me. And now I can, in the next step, see if I can find the email addresses or social media profiles on it. And to do this, we need to add another code node, because I prepared a code node for you already. Here, extract info, that can look over this website content and see if there is any email addresses listed or social media profiles listed. So I didn't program this myself. Again, I used ChatGPT to do this for me. Just told it, hey, extract the emails from that and social media profiles. Now if I click execute step, and we see, okay, the email was found, but no social media profile. Sometimes this happens, right? Because these websites or these profiles don't have social media profiles on. So here you see those, so that's okay. So it didn't scrape it because they're like at the bottom, not in the main part of the website. And so Firecrawl didn't get that part, and it's okay. You could still add them manually, right, to the sheet later. Sometimes this happens. Now, what I want to add is a random delay, so that these websites, sometimes they have they block automatic scraping. Now Firecrawl can already somehow manage this, but to be safe, I will just add another code node. So before the next website will be analyzed, there will be a random time between 1 to 5 seconds. Call it random delay. So I will also pin this down for now so it doesn't trigger firecrawl all the time. Random delay. So this will just give me a number between 1 and 5. So 4.3 seconds. Next, I can add a wait node. So then it will wait for these seconds. It will wait before it analyzes or it gets the content for the next website, right? So for all these 10 leads we have. I also want to save the email addresses and social media profiles to those leads. So I need to update Rowan sheet. And here I need to find the sheet again. That one. Leads. And here let me execute the previous node. It's just the wait node. The column to match node is website. Yes, and also one thing I forgot here. If there is an error on this part, it should continue. So I need to go to settings, continue on error. Sometimes it could maybe hit an error on the website is not available, right? And I don't want the automation to stop. Yes, here I need a website. Let's look it over. Let's use this here, website, right? So it knows where to write this info, right? So what we don't need is date, category, we already have this saved. We only need email. So we need email from extract info. Need email address. Well, if it's not found, just write not found. And then you can try again manually, visit the website and see if you can find the social media accounts if you need them. We have Twitter here. We have TikTok. We have YouTube. Don't really have Yelp here. Don't need this, we don't need this. So if I execute it, it should write it into this, yeah. And now I need to loop it back. So now I go in here, and now it will continue until all those 10 are done. Next, we have another loop here. So we need to add another loop over items because this will generate the email messages, right? The cold email, the outreach messages that I need to send to those businesses to invite them on a call so I can show them my system I want to sell them and or my offer. And so what we need to add here is, let's scroll down, is the email generator. And we use AI to do this. So click on loop, click on AI. You could use AI agent, for example, here. And here we need to have define below. We need to have the prompt message. The prompt user message is this. So this will take the available information about our lead and try to write a personal email. Switch to expressions. Let's unpin this first. And now let's go in here and click on execute previous nodes. And now it will run this loop 10 times. So this could take a few minutes. And we can, in the meantime, keep building this. So what we need to add is a chat model. I want to use the OpenAI. I would use, first you need to connect your OpenAI account and get your API key. To do this, let's go to the top. Go to platform.openai.com. You can sign up for an account here. And then you need to go to settings. Add some billing information here. Some credits, a few dollars, but it's really cheap to use. You will see the cost breakdown at the end of the video, and then you go to API keys and click on create a key. Give it any name, select it for a project, create key. Now copy the key and paste it in here. Click on save. That's all we need. Now for the model, I have good results with GPT 5 mini, so it's the cheapest version of the model. That's what we need here. And then we also need another Google Sheet save. I want to save the email, right? So this is my email generator. And once the email is generated, it should also be saved in the same row. And the only thing I need to do is here save the message then. Save the message. And I want to have a status. Status should be processed. So let's go back. There was an error here. Yeah, because I connected the chat model right after I triggered the workflow. But let's first check out my leads. You see it's gotten 8 out of 10 email addresses. Now I want to also pin that. And because sometimes when I trigger this, it could trigger the entire loop and it runs 10 times. And see here, you're an expert writing emails and cold outreach emails. Now this is the info you have. Real estate agent, business name, ratings and review counts. So this is how I personalize it. I just tell them, hey, I checked out your 5-star rating with X amount, with 18 reviews, right? And so on. Now you could add more information, personal information from the website. So now I trigger it again. I also need to drag it back in here because it's a loop. And now under done, what I can add a simple Gmail node, which means it can send me a confirmation message once the lead process is done. So here you can connect your Gmail account, just create a new credential and connect the account. And then you can send an email. So I could send an email to myself. The leads. You can just use those from the form here. Real estate agents in location is complete. Use the same as my message. Now let's go back first here. Let's drag this on the top. Click save. Now you see we have generated the first email. Hi, Dom Reality Team, you're doing a great job as a real estate agent. I checked out your 5-star rating with 18 reviews and customers are very happy. Would you like to know how to get 30% more bookings by reducing no-shows by 50%? You can modify this right here based on what type of businesses you're targeting and what results you can help them with and so on. But it's here it still writes, hey, I'm Fabian and a higher systems expert helping real estate agent businesses increase revenue and cut costs. Just reply yes and I send it over the video. So it really can modify this for any business really, right? Because I have a few placeholders, it inserts the category. So it would, if it would be category would be accountants, it would just write the email, right? I don't need to change anything here. It would just say, hey, I'm helping accountants, businesses increase revenue. And it will say, hey, you're doing a great job as accountant. So it will automatically personalize this that way. And then it will also save the email here. If I click execute step, here now I can drag this in here. And the status is processed now, so I can mark it as complete. Execute it. Okay. And now you see it wrote the message also in my sheet and it marked it as processed. So now it is complete. Unpin this scrape maps. And I also need to click on execute once, otherwise it would send me 10 emails. And this is the email I will get. New leads, real estate agent San Diego. So new leads, real estate agent San Diego was added to your sheet, for example. This could be my message I want to send to myself. And now with that, the setup is complete. Then I can switch this to active. And then all I have to do, right, is I grab this form, right? I can paste it somewhere. And that's all I need to do, right? I can only, I add the next search term, right? I could, for example, also make a accountant San Diego, right? Or New York, or whatever your location is. You could use this worldwide, literally worldwide. So it doesn't just need to be in the US. So I could use accountants in Munich, for example, right? And then I can click search. If I'm based in Germany, and you could even, sure, you can change your name. So you could change the language. I think here, change the language from English to your own location. So in my case, I would do Germany, DE. And then it would search this in any location you want. Now let's talk about the cost. How much does it cost us to run this system? And you find the cost breakdown here for 500 leads up to 100,000 leads per month in this case. So we have those different tools like the scraping tool that gets the contact info, the fire crawl that gets the website info. Then we have the tool that generates the emails for us. So these are the cost factors we have. For 500 leads, you could do it basically almost for free. So for $1 to generate 500 leads, because Epify Scraper, it's free for up to over 1,000 leads. Firecrawl is free for up to 500 credits per month is what you get for free. So that's why it's just $1. And for 1,000 leads, you're still in a free plan on Epify, at least for the first 1,000. And after that, you would have to pay for those leads. And so if you have 3,000 leads a month, that's like 100 leads a day, right? That would be that. So that will cost you $7 in usage for Epify, Firecrawl, $16 a month, and a total of $32 for 3,000 leads. Now, if you go to 10,000 leads, right? If you run this, if you would run this per day, this would be the cost. So it will cost you like $150 a day. Or if we use this as a reference, like 10,000 leads a day, that's like 300,000 leads a month. So this times 3 would be cost you around $3,000. But now comes the crucial part, right? It may sound expensive, $3,000, right? For 300,000 leads if you run this system. Reason for running this, why it's still so profitable, is the revenue calculator, because besides generating leads, you're also sending out emails to promote your offers, right? So if we assume the offer price is $1,000, maybe you sell some low-end AI system, AI agent, voice agents, whatever, anything you find on my YouTube video that you could sell. And the conversion rate from the lead to the sale, maybe only 0.2%. So out of 500, you may get one sale. You see here, this is the calculator. So this would still, for 500 leads, you could maybe get one sale and make $1,000. Or even if you would say, okay, you make only $500. So for every lead, only 0.1% conversion rate, right? But even there, so this is dynamically updated here. So if you get 100,000 leads a month, this could lead to 100,000 sales. So if you get 1,000 leads, it leads to one sale, right? So this would be 100 sales, because for every 1,000 leads, you can make a sale. So, and here you see it costs you $1,000 to get 100,000 leads, but you could also make $100,000. For 5,000 leads, you must make 5 sales. So for just $100, you could make $5,000. That's where you can play around with different averages here. We have also different benchmarks. If you want to see more videos like this, where I show you how to build these highly effective and profitable AI-powered systems, even as a total beginner, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos.